It's interesting, I got the phrase, go back to the scene of the crime, which I think we had a few months ago. You know, there's some things, if you want to figure them out, you need to go back to the scene of the crime. And I found it interesting because often the message we get here is, move forward, don't look back, don't try to figure it out, just go. But maybe there, you know, sometimes I think we might need to revisit something to understand maybe our role in it, or just some other nuance, because tarot gets a moment often. It's not the whole story. It's kind of a bit, it's a opening the book to a certain page, and there it is. And that doesn't even sound right, but it's like looking for clues, somehow doing forensic, you know, psychological forensics. This promises to be a good one, because I'm like, huh? Back to the scene of the crime. And the other thing that was in my head was the idea of the divine as the forgotten one. I know the forgotten one can refer to a whole, you know, in different cultures, a whole pantheon of kind of negative gods. But here I think it's just this, we've forgotten who we are. We've forgotten what this creation is. You know, somehow our memory, our genetic memory, is glitched right now. So go back to the scene of the crime. It might be something that happened, I don't know, like 4 months ago. Say yes. Is this it? First card out. That was in the pre-shuffle. It flew out. 2 of Wands. Somebody at the beginning of a journey, they're not through the portal, or if they are through it, they're just on the other side of it. You know, they've just threaded the needle or something like that. But they haven't taken the first step. And it always strikes me, this is a child on the card. So it may be like, I don't know, something about going back, not necessarily to the scene of the crime, but to the scene of some important, Lover's card, important choice, maybe. Lovers is a card of choice. So is 2 of Wands. You know, now there's a fork in the road. Which way do I go? And this person, the images of such a young person, I feel like it is an opportunity to kind of go back to the beginning and restart. Back to the scene of some pivotal decision. And it's interesting because I don't often notice it, but in this Lover's card, card of Gemini, a card of the twins, up in the sky are 2 battling falcons. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get it into the light without reflecting. It shows 2, shows a fight. 2 birds kind of clashing in midair. So maybe there's some way in which this relationship went in and out of accord. Because there are butterflies on here too, and then these fighting birds. This relationship was not without its troubles. 10 of Wands. But maybe that's the cycle that's concluding at the end of the year. It's somebody laying down burdens in order to be able to make a decision about how to move forward. And here you see this guy, the 10 of Wands are behind them. It's a Tibetan monk. So it's something about a spiritual burden. Or leaving behind something that was heavy in order to turn toward the spiritual life. You know, the monastic life, there's not much in the way of family there's the monastic community, and that's pretty much it. And in some, I guess, there's service work. So they're the people you serve as a servant of God. So somebody may be choosing to end a cycle, and it may involve a very important relationship that had periods of grace and real trouble. Trying to figure out, can I really do this, Wands energy? Am I too young? Am I too unsure? Well, I don't know. Emperor in Wands energy. Divine masculine. I think in the highest expression of divine masculine is really to take care of the family, of the group, of the, to create a stable environment for other people. And in this case, it's not static, it's not hierarchical. It's got this great creative fire to it. And Emperor energy, it's interesting because it's the old guy on the card and the youth here. You may be returning to the scene of a crime. He, she, they, like they're remembering. This guy could be an Aries, is remembering a decision that was made, I'm getting even perhaps for them in their childhood, or a decision that affected them as starting out at the starting gate. There's 2 of Wands, the portal, the starting gate. And it had something to do with this, the twins in clash or in accord. On 10 of Wands, Hangman. Card of Pisces. Aries, Gemini, Pisces on the board, and very symmetrical, almost like stepping stones. And the 2 minor arcana are this 2 of Wands, this little boy, and he's looking their face this way. It could be somebody leaving some sort of monastic life, perhaps no children, no partner, but big on community. Let's see, can you tell us about the choice, please? I mean, Emperor would choose and would have confidence in the choice. But keep getting this person is their memory of some childhood decision that affected the trajectory of their life, this Wand's energy of direction, and maybe affected future partnerships, or how this person made decisions about relationships. I don't really get this. Can you tell us about Ten of Wands, ending a cycle of suspension while somebody tried to process their feelings, get some epiphany about how they felt, and they couldn't really move till they had that emotional breakthrough. And once the emotional, this is almost like the wands are almost like the logs in the dam. You know, the water just, and all the wands go flying. What was the decision that I think that this Emperor person is remembering? A decision that may have been made, that it wasn't really this Emperor person's choice because they were a child. What's the choice, please? Okay. The choice is Knight of Pentacles. It's going to take time. Or it slowed everything down. I mean, this is a card of suspension, non-movement. Pisces has to do with, you know, our connection. Somebody may have run out the clock. They were very slow. And it could be that this Emperor person decided to kind of ride the brakes. Some childhood memory of some other decision, perhaps it was a hasty decision. You know, it could have been even like their parents showed them a pattern of these hawks or falcons, whatever they are, of fighting, and that somehow the fight was the predominant thing. Like almost like a trauma bond, or, you know, we fight as a way of showing how much we love each other or something like that. But the cycle has ended, and I think who ended it was the grown-up version of that kid. It's like, now I'm full-blown Emperor status. You know, I'm right here, I'm in control, I'm not controlling, but I'm protective of people in my care, including my younger self somehow. So I think the Emperor is going back in time to kind of reconsider or try to feel their way through what happened when this cycle ended. And I think this relationship, well, what happened? Let's see. Yeah. 9 of Swords. In sword energy, the same sword energy is the Lover's card of Gemini. It's a card of anxiety, of fear. And I see it, there's this shadow play going on. I see it as somebody trying to figure out every possible ramification. They're playing out the possibilities in their head. And they're getting more and more anxious because it's like they're looking for reasons not to, it's really ass backwards, but for reasons not to believe that this kind of connection is possible. They're really looking for arguments against that kind of vulnerability. Wow. 7 of Swords. A card of the sneak, I mean, you can see that right here, can be of the liar, you know, of words that aren't true, or I'm seeing it here now as something using words to deflect. What does that mean? Words to deflect. It's sort of like, because these are just shadow swords compared to these, which are kind of iridescent. And it looks a little bit like this person really is escaping. 7 of Swords can be escapism. Like they're sneaking, but they're sneaking away from something. They've snuck away from something. And now I think they're trying to look at all these angles. 9 of Swords, all the angles, all the ramifications. They're playing out every scenario they can think of, sword energy. And it has really, really, really bogged them down. You know, it's sort of accumulated this kind of a heavy load. And I think in this case, the heavy load is kind of everything, things that are not at all spiritual. This guy, I mean, Emperor can be a boss or, a leader, as a politician or a male or female, but kind of the one who runs the show. And I think now they're kind of closing the door on that sort of power, of the need to control worldly things. They're kind of turning their back on that and basically in order to walk a spiritual path, this person has really changed gears. And something has slowed them. I think these, well, let's see. I'm not sure if these are 2 different people. We have the 2 and the 2 of Wands and the 2 twins. Whose slow journey is this? Maybe out of crazy overthinking. Is it this one? Yes. Oh, wow. It's a journey toward union. This person in fire energy has kind of built a bower, a place, an expectation that their person will come to them, directionally, that they'll both end up in this. It's a 4 card, like Emperor, and it's 4 of Wands, like Emperor, fire energy. I think this person has slowly, over time, step by step, gotten themselves into this kind of energy. ready for the other person. They've built a bower. I don't know if that's an actual house. I think it's just an energetic vibe. Tell me about, is it this one? 7 of Swords and Lovers. Ace of Swords. Well, this is the lie. And this is the truth. They like this. This is clarifying that. I think maybe they kind of called themselves on their own games. These shadow games that they were, you know, it's like, and I think that they've decided, sword energy, that they're now going to take the opportunity to tell the truth. If they get an opportunity, they're going to take it. And again, the butterflies on the Ace of Swords. Okay, tell me about this Twins card. What is the meaning of the Fighting Falcons? The effing Fighting Falcons. It sounds like a football team. We have Hermit. Know thyself, basically. 9, speak to the personal. And again, the spiritual aspect of the 10 of Wands with the monk, and Hermit is the one who has spiritual wisdom based on an understanding of their own core self. It's like if you go deep enough inside yourself, you discover kind of common ground. This is Earth energy, Virgo. Ground. Like we all have to kind of walk this path. Seven of Cups. I think it's sort of like, this is self-knowledge, and it's in proximity to the Ace of Swords, which also speaks to truth and knowledge. Inner wisdom. You know, on the deep level of the psyche, of the archetype, nothing in the superficial, you know, it's more than skin deep. They really know themselves. They've taken the time to look at their own spirit, like right in the eye. There's this, huh? Oh, man. It's a card of options, possibilities, can be illusions, dreamy, kind of can't make a decision, which is interesting because we have this card of decision, Lovers, and card of decision, 2 of Wands, and then this need to choose. And apparently it's a heartfelt choice. Who do I love? Who do I have this kind of a connection with? Lovers, 4 of Wands. Who will meet me where I am? I will meet them where they... It's no dissembling here. It's the true self, Hermit. You know, and the other 9 card right below it is this card of shadow games. So we might have a Virgo who is in some sort of situation where they may have felt emotionally manipulated, made to feel like they were an option. but we have the card of the solitary one, and then we have a card of the two. Maybe the choice is somehow, do I stay single, or do I make a choice to be with this other person? Is that my priority? I'd say that the Virgo person is confused. And I think that's why they withdrew. They didn't know what somebody else felt about them. I think that they knew on a core level this was their person. Maybe a Gemini. But it seems like this person only knew it in kind of, they'd know it. Didn't we say at the beginning, the forgotten one? It's like they know it, they see it, they get it, and then they, in a flash, they don't know. And out, this clash of birds. It's really like they're it's almost like a strobe light. I mean, this person, they may have confused the earth energy person, but it sprung out of their own confusion, because they had this like strobe like on-off understanding and acceptance of what this connection means. So their confusion, is it love or is it illusion, as Jimi Hendrix famously said, and I think, Are You Experienced? They didn't know. They didn't know what was going on. They were addled. And so they really gave mixed messages. And it confused this earth energy person who said, right, I'm out. I've got, this is addling me, and I need to reground myself, earth energy. But I think I thought this was way in this person's childhood, and it may have been, but it like rose this decision that affected the rest of their lives. It kind of came up again. They had to revisit it somehow. And that's what the Emperor did. I don't know why I'm saying it so emphatically, but it's like that. It's I'm a grown-ass man, woman, person. I don't have to kind of beat my chest to show my strength or my alpha status. I'm ready to connect. I've made a choice to go in that direction. But I think the trouble was they really confused terminally. I don't know if there's coming back from this. Except, this is the last card out, which means mutual, both people heading in the same direction. This guy made a choice to hit the road, perhaps to choose differently than whatever choice perhaps his parents made, or, like they fought. I think this person was exposed in their childhood to relationships that were ostensibly partnerships, loving partnerships, but they were crazy. They were fights. They were somehow... so when this person began to love somebody, they'd get these flashes of, you know, what does it mean to connect? What does it mean to connect? Okay, just give us one more on the Virgo energy person and their confusion, and, you know, is this salvageable? Oh, yeah. I kind of love that, because here, you know, we've got this sort of baby on this card, and the old guy on this card, and then King of Wands, same energy. Oh, look at this! I love this depiction of King of Wands. He's so powerful. He's in his prime. I think this person is going back to revisit a decision that affected his life. It was not his decision, but it was like his parents' decision or something like that. But now this person is a grown-ass person. Could be an Aries, could be a Leo or a Sag. And they're going to give it their all anyway. They're fired up. They feel very passionate about this, almost like it's a kind of primal drive. You know, we got the lizard down here, almost like the reptilian brain, you know, that the most basic needs. Oh my God. They have to try to make it work. Make it, do this. This is what I want. This is what I'm passionate about. This is where I want to go. Whoever's divine masculine. Not necessarily the gender person, but the one who feels like they're faced with a decision that reminds them something from their past, but they're now realizing their own power. In 3D, I'm a grown-ass person. I'm my own boss. Nobody's the boss of me. I get to make my own decisions. There's really this emphatic, and I'll decide something that is actually good for, you know, it's good for me, it's good for the other guy, it's good for the village, it's good. It's a place of reunion. He's been building a bower. Ten of Cups. Emperor. Yeah. King of Wands. The go-to guy. And the Ten of Cups. I think he'll manage to show, because wands are sort of like that. Here it is. He'll be able to show, they will be able to show their earth person that they've processed those feelings, that they've grown up, that they've got a takeaway. They get it. And part of what they get is that they were lying, perhaps to the Virgo, certainly to themselves. You know, they let this procrastination just take over their brain. These shadow games, this I'll just sit here and look at every angle. And then somehow they began to realize time was a passing. And I think they could feel this Virgo person's energy moving away. The earth energy person was incredibly patient. They didn't make demands. They went back into their own lives and extracted the wisdom. So I think they may both now be in like low gear. You know, they're a Knight of Coins energy. They're going to take their time. And I think particularly the earth energy person is like not in any rush, particularly because they've only known this other guy, this before the emperor was an emperor, as being really kind of scatterbrained and maybe untrustworthy, dodgy, you know, sneaky. This person has changed. They've had like a come to Jesus moment. They get it now. Aha moment, I guess I should say. Is this possible? Is it possible to salvage this? King of Wands, 10 of Cups. What do you think? I think it's possible. Maybe in Aries time, because it's going to be slow going. This person has to somehow regain the Virgos or whoever's the spiritual one who went into, who just removed themselves, who said, you know, basically, like, fuck this. I'm not staying in a place where I just can't, you know, like that you've passed your confusion, your uncertainty to me. So I'm out. This person has to earn the Virgo's trust back, or whoever is that one who went into a kind of spiritual retreat. You know, and they went into that retreat to kind of get their head clear. The other person's weighing up all you see what I'm saying? It's like a contagion of crazy brain. The other guy was scared. They didn't know what to think. They looked at it from every angle. They're trying to analyze it. They're so up in their heads that it's like they've got the sword is firmly lodged somewheres. And this was contagious. It made the other person, who was normally grounded, doubt themselves, you know, it was a contagious anxiety. And I think that the earth person got strong by getting out of the situation, like away from the confusion. You know, like if you don't know me by now, you will never know me. Probably from the 80s, maybe the 70s. You know, if you haven't decided, 2 of Wands, lovers, about me by now, I'm out. Take the time, figure yourself out. And this person, this emperor person, did just that. They manned up, they womaned up, they stepped into their full-blown personhood. They're not this sort of traumatized kid anymore. Like they're supplanting their own life. You know, they're no longer living in this memory of what happened to their parents or some significant relationship that had come before this one. They're now firmly, have firm footing in what's real and in the now, this Knight of Pentacles. They're finding their footing. And I'll say, King of Wands, Emperor, they've got their work cut out for them. They do. But I think it's possible. It's always, I mean, who knows? It's you know, anything's possible. Yeah, I love you guys. Oh, somebody was trying to join. They wanted to contribute. They wanted to join. They couldn't find the join button. This has happened occasionally before. And I went through this elaborate thing. This person said, Venmo, can I do Venmo? I don't have PayPal. And I went into this big, long spiel about how my Venmo account and so forth. And then I realized they could just hit the donate button, the thanks button. And you can fill in any amount you want. I think the default thing is $2. Thanks for the read. That's always nice to hear. But you can, if you want to make a more substantial donation, you can always do that. But in any case, these are free. These are free. And I'll be here probably tomorrow, and I hope you come back. See you next time.